Good morning, students. This class is essentially for second semester student, tribal studies and ethnomedicine. Today my topic is field notes. Remember that you're going for field work at the end of this lockdown, and even in your end of your third semester, before starting of your fourth semester, you are going for your field work, which will stretch around 25 to 30 days in village settings to do a holistic studies. Okay, my topic is on field notes. So we are going to discuss how important is writing a field notes, how to take them, how to quote them, manage them. All anthropologists take field notes during field work. It is a very important part of your research. In fact, it is the major part of your research. It is a continuous process from the beginning of your research to processing of your data. It is not only important on how to record your field notes, but also how to keep them. So let's take a look at the meaning of field notes. Field notes refer to qualitative notes recorded by the scientist, researcher, field worker, etc. in the course of your research during or after their observation. When we talk about observation, it means participant or non-participant observation of a specific phenomenon they are studying. The notes are intended to be read as evidence that gives meaning and aids in the understanding of the phenomena. It is to produce meaning and understanding of a particular culture, a social situation, or phenomenon being studied. Fieldwork also refers to notes created by a researcher during the act of qualitative fieldwork to remember and record the behaviors, activities, events, and other features of an observation. So field notes supplements conventional interview data. In fact, there are no rules as to how research diaries or field notes should be compiled. There are no rules. So the prime consideration is finding a format and style that fits with the needs of research project and which is found to be applicable and useful by the researcher. So you need to spend at least 2-3 hours for writing up your field notes. Make sure that you don't slip on your notes. Create many small notes rather than a long notes. Because sometimes we do not feel like reading a long notes. Your notes should have a date, time, data, situation, etc. that may trigger correct information, that will give you a correct information. Okay? So according to Russell Bernard, there are 4 types of field notes while conducting a field work. Number 1 is jotting. Number 2, we have a diary. 3, a log. And fourthly, field notes proper. So let's take a look at what exactly is jotting. Field jotting, according to Roger Sajek, It is as simple as a scratch notes. Okay. So field jotting are what you get through the day, your daily schedules, what you really do in that particular day. So keep a notepad with you all the time and make field jotting on the spot. On the spot. Whether it's formal or non-formal interviews. And using your jotting pad, you must be honest with the people and keep your notepads out. If your informants or if anyone's around you are not comfortable with you writing or jotting down in your notepad, then they may even tell you, they may even inform you not to write it. You can always write it later. Save it for later. Okay, so honesty is very important when writing field notes in your jotting pad. So next we have a diary. Diary is just a personal notes. Notes are based on notes that are based on observation. Notes that are based on personal experience. A diary is a place where you can run and hide when things get tough. In an ethnographic research, field diary is a must-have. A must-have. So your field work is not completed without writing a diary, especially when conducting an ethnographic research. So a diary chronicles how you feel and how you perceive your relations with others around you. Diary will also writing your diary, your personal diary, your field diary will help you deal with loneliness, fear, homesick, that makes your field work difficult. So, but remember, when we say that it will deal your loneliness, your fear that makes your field work difficult, you must also remember that professional diaries contain ideas, information, comments, etc. that may be useful as additional source of information. So a diary is just a simple daily register of events, appointments, planning, calendar, as well as a progress of your research. Coming to the third point, a log. A log is a running account on how you plan to spend your time and how you actually spend your time. How much is your budget for your fieldwork and how much money you spent? It's very different. So it is a place, it is a running account on how you plan to spend and how you actually spend your time during fieldwork. So this logbook, these log notes, field notes, is a key to conduct a systematic fieldwork. It will help you conduct a systematic fieldwork. So for collecting both qualitative and quantitative data, systematically, your running account, which is a logbook, will help you do your work systematically. Okay, next, the fourth point, we have field notes proper. Field notes proper is also very similar. Is also very much similar with your diary. So the faster you write up your observations, the more detail you can get down with. So while writing your field notes proper, remember more is better, and much more is much better. So you can make use of your electrical device, laptop, your desktop, your tablets, etc. And then you can even make use of, if you're in a network coverage, you can make use of the internet. Send your field notes proper through emails. You can even rent a server. So this means that you need to make a proper backup of whatever you have written during your field work. You can do it on daily basis, weekly basis. So remember, you need to make a proper backup. Again, we have three kinds of field notes. Three kinds of field notes proper. Number 4 has another types of field notes. Okay. A, methodological notes. B, descriptive notes. And C, analytical notes. So methodological notes deals with techniques in collecting data. Your techniques and your tools are very different. So this methodological notes deals with only your techniques, not your tools for collecting data or while collecting data. So methodological notes are also about our own growth as an instrument of data collection. So the methodological notes have to do with field inquiry itself. So you can make methodological note when you do something silly that breaks the cultural norms. You never know, it may turn into a very good methods for conducting a field work. Your silly actions may turn into a very important methods later. The second point is descriptive notes. Descriptive notes are the meat and potatoes of field work. Let's say like bread and butters of your field work. So most notes are descriptives and are from two sources. By watching, by observation and listening. So one must be very observant during field work. Like I always say, keep your ears open and have eyes at the back. So the best way to write good descriptive notes is to learn to write. Learn to practice doing it, writing it with others who are also trying to learn. Get together with your friends, get together with one or more people who have the same interests. You can visit and see or check the village records, board records from local churches, and take a look at the environmental features and so on. So whenever you observe something, try to capture field notes. The details of the behavior and the environment is very important. Lastly and thirdly, we have analytical notes. What is this analytical notes? Analytical notes is where the researcher lay out his ideas about how he think of the culture he is studying is organized. How he think of the culture he is studying is organized. How do you feel about the culture you're studying? So analytical notes are the product of a lot of time and efforts and may go on for several pages. It is a product of the researcher's understanding, ideas of organizing and working descriptives and methodological notes over a period of time. While writing your descriptive notes, you also have to keep in mind that do not expect to write many or lengthy analytical note when you write it for the first time. Do not expect to write a great analytical notes in your first attempt. So you need to learn, you need to practice. Instead, you can write them all your life, even after you're out of the field. You can recollect, you can recall a particular events, a particular activities, and started writing. That way, you will develop a good writing skills, a good analytical writing skills. Let me conclude this class with these few points to remember. Good field notes do not depend on the punctuality of informants or your ability to do all the things you wanted to do during your field work. So sometimes we do not have that time, the particular time, which, sometimes we cross our time, we cross the limits. But that doesn't mean that you do not write a good field notes, or you do not conduct a good field work. But remember, a good field work depends on your systematic work over a period of time. A period of time, maybe 3 days, a week, a month, or a year. Systematic work is what it counts. What it counts most is systematic work. So, regarding how to code your field work, please continue to read Russell Bernard's Research Methods in Anthropology, a qualitative and quantitative approaches. You have it in your PDF files. I've already given you this material. So please continue to read this. Continue to read this book. So how are you going to analyze? How are you going to analyze your field notes? I always prefer low-tech methods. What are low-tech methods? It's very simple. You live with them. You live with the field notes. Live with the data which you have collected. Handle them. Read them over and over, again and again. Read them again and again. You spread it. You spread it. You live with it. Eyeballing. We have already talked about what is eyeballing. You track them. Make bulletins. Make bulletin boards. Make some mess. And eventually you get a feel for what's in them, and it will be very easy for you once you get a feel of what's in them, in a sense, in your data. When you start to feel what's in your data, in your field notes, it will be very easy for you to start writing, start analyzing, and come with a good result, good fieldwork research, good fieldwork result. Okay, that's it for our class today. I'll see you next time. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, and save lives. Thank you.